watching Champ Week, presented by Principal, and this is the WAC Men's Basketball Tournament. And tonight from Las Vegas, it's the championship game between the #1 seed Utah Valley Wolverines and the #2 seed, the Grand Canyon Lopes. An automatic bid into the NCAA tournament on the line. It's the third meeting between the two teams with matching 25-7 records. Each team winning on their home court. Utah Valley beat Seattle, and last night's semi, GCU advanced by beating Cal Baptist. Hi everybody, welcome to WAC Vegas. Along with the coach, Jared Haas, I'm Dave Feldman. Okay, the winner's going to the NCAA tournament. UVU's never done it.
Well, this is not the NCAA tournament yet, but this atmosphere is absolutely electric. It is pressure-filled, and we have two teams desperate to get to that coveted big dance.
Tyon Grant Foster, the reigning tournament MVP from a year ago. He's only played 2 games since coming back from an injury, but he is playing very well, and he was clutch in the semifinal and the quarterfinal. He will be a key guy to watch, but also keep in mind that Utah Valley is one of the hottest teams in the country. They've won 10 straight games. They've won 20 of their last 21, yet they are the underdog against a team going for their 3rd straight WAC tourney title. GCU in the dark, Utah Valley in the light, and the Lopes will have the first possession. This is Ray Harrison, #0. He was the tournament MVP 2 years ago for Grand Canyon. Colin Moore's first jump shot is good, and GCU's got the first lead.
Did a nice job getting the ball to the paint, getting ball reversals. For Grand Canyon, the quality of the shot is going to be key early on.
Tanner Toulson had the great game in the semi, 18-14 in the first half. He's #5 with the ball right now. Carter Welling. Ken Lenhart will run the point, and that's Dominic Nelson, the WAC MVP of the regular season. And the ball goes off of Nelson back to Grand Canyon.
I think it's a good sign. Nelson's looking to be aggressive early. Obviously, you don't want that turnover, but he struggled just a bit in this tournament, but they need to get him going early.
Has only 10 points in 2 games, averaging 15 a game prior to that. Harrison inside to Duke Brennan. Brennan reverses it.
In the semifinal game, I thought Grand Canyon came out and really forced some shots early to start the game tonight. 2 high-quality looks, ends up in 5 points.
Carter Welling can shoot the deep shot, goes strong to the hoop. Did they count the hoop? No basket, they'll call it on the floor. So Carter Welling draws the foul, but they say prior to going to the hoop.
That's where a few years ago that would have been called a charge, and with the rule changes, it's really giving the advantage to the offense to be aggressive, and if the defense is not there and set, that's going to be a block every time.
Osiris Grady left alone, and the Wolverines are on the board.
Well-designed play, good screens by Utah Valley right now. This is going to be a physical game. The screening is a part that we can watch.
Harrison gets the screen from Brennan, who rolls and is fouled by Grady.
Again, attacking the rim. Brennan doing a nice job. Rolling hard, being able to get to the free throw line now.
Bryce Drew, 11-1 in the WAC tourney and going for his 3rd straight title and 4th in 5 years. This is his 5th year here. It's a remarkable record as the coach of the Grand Canyon Antelope. Brennan played his freshman year at Arizona State, been a solid big man for the Lopes since he came to Phoenix. 7-2 early, Grand Canyon. Grady thinks about it. Cole's playing off of it. Now Tanner's fouled off the screen by Colin Moore. Todd Phillips, 2nd year at Utah Valley, 25-7 this year. Just an impressive job. We were at shoot around today, and just a guy who runs a really good ship, good practice, and had the best team in the whole conference this year by far. 5 on the shot clock. Grady's got to take a tough contested one, no good. And here comes Grant Foster. Nelson has it blocked. Carter Welling for 3. Tanner Toolson. And what a hustle play by Tanner Toolson.
Mr. Energy, he's a Swiss Army knife. Goes and gets the rebound, knocks in the shot. His energy in this tournament has been off the charts and really setting the table for his entire team.
Had 14 in the first half in the semis, finished with 18 and 3 steals. This is Jacoby Coles. You'll see him a lot in the low post. Moore for 3. And Toolson with another steal. Welling trailing the play. Toolson goes right at Moore, cut off. Can't get it to go. Linhart steals it. Linhart for 3. UVU with the hustle play.
What great energy, multiple hustle plays. Utah Valley is really taking the fight to Grand Canyon right now, winning the hustle plays, knocking in the shots, but the energy, really for both teams, is off the charts.
Wolverines with the lead, 8-7. Harrison with some room. Here comes Linhart. Nelson. Osiris Grady out hustling. UVU winning all the hustle plays right now. Carter Welling. And now we have a foul. Well, I will say this, Coach. If you're giving a Hustle Jared Haas Hustle Award so far, it goes to UVU.
Yeah, Toolson is just an effort play right there. He's rewarded by getting a clean look for himself. Linhart doing the exact same thing. First one to the floor, or first one to the ball, gets a clean look, knocks it in.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Principal. Let's build a retirement and benefits plan that works for your team. I'll tell you who works for his team. Tanner Toolson. It's 8-7 Utah Valley on top of Grand Canyon, the 1 seed leading the 2 seed. And Toolson is just a 5-tool player.
Well, right now he's just Mr. Everything, and he's doing it all from rebounding to scoring. It's all the loose balls. It's the effort plays. He's done it all year, but in this tournament, he's ramped it up even more. It has been extremely impressive.
His dad, Andy, played at BYU, was a star. That's why he wears number 5, and he was awesome in the semis. Meanwhile, Jacoby Coles, big old school body and game.
He can score with his back to the basket. He's great with a 17-foot little fadeaway, mid-range, old school game. And he has the ability to step out to the 3-point line and drag the defense and spread the defense, which adds value to his teammates as well. Really a heck of a player and on a heck of a team.
Averaging 22 through 2 games. He's on the bench right now. Luke War has come in. Been a great spark. He was the WAC 6th man of the year. He's number 5. So is Makai Williams, number 2, a defensive specialist. Inside to Carter Welling. Welling up against War, lays it in.
Grand Canyon tried to amp up their pressure a little bit at the beginning, made them uncomfortable, but Utah Valley does a nice job moving the basketball and getting an inside touch.
This is Caleb Shaw. There's the coach's nephew, the assistant coach's son. And here comes Nelson. Toolson's left alone. Tanner Toolson continues a torrid tournament.
He is absolutely on a tear. So both teams, I've noticed, are really doing a good job. It's a physical game. They're screening hard. But one thing that Utah Valley is doing on a lot of the off-ball screens is switching, which ends up negating the physicality of those screens for Grand Canyon.
Harrison against Grady. Kai Williams to the hoop, counted, and he draws the foul.
Really nice drive. The mindset for Grand Canyon has to be to attack inside first. They are very skilled. They're very talented all the way around, but attacking inside with Williams right there is a great start.
Meanwhile, Tanner Toulson just continues to heat it up.
Confidence is high, and anything that hits his hands right now, it's going to go up with a lot of confidence.
Kai Williams, who started 20 games this year when Grant Foster was injured, converts on the three-point play. It's 13-10 UVU.
We anticipated a high-level game, and so far it has lived up to the billing.
Kevin Linhart turns the corner. Nice pass for Welling. Waits for the pump fake and lays it in. 15-10 UVU.
When Utah Valley's at their best, we talked to Coach today, the ball is moving, there's great player movement. That possession was a great example of it. Ends up being a simple screen and roll, but it was after some things happened in the possession.
Linhart picks up the foul, trying to guard Williams. That's 2 on Linhart, and Kylan Green will come in and give him a break. He's 6-foot junior from Dallas, Texas. And immediately Green picks up a foul.
It's certainly an issue with Linhart going to the bench, but the reality is this Utah Valley team is very, very deep. They'll play 10, 11 guys without any hesitation, a lot of confidence in their bench.
Brendan sets the screen. Gives Williams some space. He's no good. Brendan tries to tip it, no good. Carter Welling comes away with it. Green was trying to get it to Toulson. They almost had a head-on collision. Green left alone, lays it in.
Great speed coming off the ball screen straight downhill. There's a wide open gap because the defense was spread out because of the quality three-point shooting.
Nice hustle by Carter Welling, but the ball goes out of bounds. Grand Canyon will keep it.
Great left hand, great explosion, but with that play, you see so much space, again, because of the shooting. On this end, Harrison, same kind of an idea, comes off the ball screen, but needs to be able to throw a bounce pass or a lob. The deflection occurred because he tried to throw a chest pass in a very tight space.
Utah Valley with the 8 second chance point, speaking to the hustle plays that Coach was talking about. Jared Haas hustle plays, which they still speak reverently about in Lawrence, Kansas, and Palo Alto, California. Now Cole's trying to work against Welling, asks people to clear out so he can go one-on-one. But Holcomb met him, ties him up for a jump. What great help side defense.
So the game within the game, we're going to see a lot of this. Coles is going to get the basketball about 15 feet from the basket, and when his back turns, they're going to throw a double team at him. It's happened twice already, and when that double team occurs, it's going to be interesting to see if he can score it, move the basketball, or if the advantage goes to Utah Valley.
Welling left alone, misses easy one. Holcomb tries to get the rebound, and he is fouled. So Jackson Holcomb, the 6'7" freshman from Charleston, he's just a guy who comes in and uses his body as well as anybody. Now Ethan Potter, we talked about how deep UVU is. They can just keep running in guys. Ethan Potter, 6'9", 230, gives Carter Welling a break. Toulson off the inbound. Foster with a runner. No good.
Grant Foster tried to take advantage of the switch situation against the bigger guy, but took a really difficult shot. Settled on that one.
Nelson puts it on the floor. Blocked. Grant Foster got him from behind. Out of bounds, Lopes ball.
Nelson trying to get something going. He's being aggressive. It's making the right plays, just not able to finish yet. My takeaway so far, 8 minutes into the game, we're looking at two teams that expect to win this game.
Luke War from distance. Nelson up high for the rebound. Certainly couldn't have been a much better start than UVU wanted scripted. Potter inside. War keeps his feet. Tough shot by Ethan Potter. And a timeout, Grand Canyon. 19-10, Utah Valley on top. 11:48 left in the first half. It's the WAC championship. An automatic bid to the NCAA tournament is on the line. Old school. Am I falling down? Am I fading? I'm making it. And it's a 9-point lead. 19-10, UVU over Grand Canyon. It's the WAC championship on Champ Week, presented by Principal. A reminder, we'll cap off Champ Week tomorrow with 2 more championship games on ESPN. The SEC title game is at 1 Eastern. Tennessee takes on Florida. And then one of the final automatic tourney tickets will be punched by the winner of the American Championship game between UAB and Memphis. Tickets already punched. Any of this list surprise you, Coach Haas?
Well, I think you're going to see a lot of a range of talent and a range of quality teams, but the reality is everybody on there has earned it. And so, honestly, at this point, nobody surprises you. This is madness. This is March.
Hot start for UVU. Grant Foster inside. Nice pump fake and draws the foul. And that's one thing that Tyon Grant Foster does very well, is go to the free throw line. He's just kind of very elusive and hard to guard.
Absolutely, and a set play out of the timeout. Coach Drew did a nice job organizing that, but letting the play develop, knowing that he's effective in the post. The only thing they could do for Utah Valley was foul him.
Missed almost a month with a knee injury, 5 games. He was the 2024 WAC tourney MVP, had 18 points versus California Baptist. And if you don't know his story, it's an interesting story. You know, he was playing at DePaul after playing at Kansas and collapsed first game in with a serious heart ailment. Didn't play basketball for 2 years and came back here and became a star. And one of the reasons he wanted to play here was Bryce Drew, who he loved as a coach, and also earlier in his career had a heart issue. So they sort of bonded and could relate over that. And he's been a bright spot here in Phoenix. Potter with the jump hook. He's hit 2 of those now.
Really nice. The pace of Utah Valley right now is a difference on that offensive end. They are moving the basketball. They're moving themselves. And right now, Grand Canyon is on their heels.
Coles for 3.
When he starts hitting those threes, it really can grow his game. Teams will have to start pressuring him. Utah Valley have to start pressuring him, and then he can start driving to the basket a little bit more as well.
Green inside. Now Wells inside. Tough shot. Good defense by GCU. Colin Moore was fouled by Ethan Potter.
That's a lot of contact.
Coles has been inside a couple times, had a little bit of success, but now stepping out to 3. Has space, in rhythm, great balance.
Harrison inside, hangs, gets the roll.
In a game like this, out-of-bounds situations can be a difference maker. Both teams have scored 1 time on out-of-bounds plays, and that's the kind of intangible that you talk about. It's going to be those little things that can win the game.
Ball bounces out, turnover, here comes Grand Canyon. Harrison doesn't use the screen from Coles. Instead, going right at Toulson. And the runner off the glass is good. It's a 2-point game.
Utah Valley, they really have nice length on the perimeter. They're perimeter defenders, but the physicality of Grand Canyon can really turn into their favor.
Another turnover by the Wolverines. Harrison too strong. The tip is good.
Harrison's creating havoc in the paint right now. Even though he didn't make that shot, they get the offensive boards because of overhelping by Utah Valley.
Speaking of the Havocs, all the fans and the Havocs, the student section, are pretty happy. It's 21-all. Grand Canyon has come all the way back. Back to the WAC in a moment. Tied at 21 at the WAC championship. Grand Canyon and Utah Valley, the 1 and 2 seeds. The last bucket for Grand Canyon brought them all the way back, Coach Haas. Nice tip.
And they've done a nice job. Cole's made a three-point shot, but after that, they've been attacking the rim, getting to the free throw line, getting baskets around, 10 feet and in. And before the game, the Utah Valley staff talked about this is a game that they have to win the paint. They have to win 10 feet and in. And right now, in that last segment, Grand Canyon won 10 feet and in.
Grant Foster said something interesting in his press conference yesterday after the game. He says, our team doesn't get rattled. We're used to playing here. And to his point, they're 11-1 in this tournament under Bryce Drew. So there's no reason for them to get rattled as Dominic Nelson draws the foul and the MVP of the WAC will go to the free throw line and shoot 2.
I think that's an important play for Nelson right now. He's 0 for 3 from the field. He struggled in the tournament. He's struggling a little bit tonight. Going to the free throw line can get his confidence up, get him in rhythm a little bit.
So 3 personal fouls on Jacoby Coles. And he is going to come out. And that could be a big factor.
It really is. And Coach Drew, one of the things always talked about, in coaching circles, what do you do when a player has 2 fouls? Do you leave him in? And I think it's becoming more and more common. The Grand Canyon got burned this time because 3 fouls in the first half really puts them in a bind. Now,
Jacoby Coles, coach, has been their best player in the tournament so far through 2 games. 3 fouls, 8:49 left. Is he done for the first half?
Well, I think no question. In 2 fouls, I'm all for it. Put him in there, let him ride it out. But he has to be disciplined enough not to allow that foul to occur. But I think he's done until the second half unless something dramatic happens.
We'll keep an eye on that situation as Harrison drives in, hangs, and lays it in.
Harrison right now is an X factor in this game. He is getting downhill. He is physical on his drives, and he is really creating positive things for Grand Canyon.
We have a foul away from the ball, and they're going to call that on Wells.
And Harrison is so good at changing pace, changing direction, and his body control. Excellent. Finishes that one.
Harrison has been a sort of one-man offensive crew lately. And now Grant Foster pulls back. Way short. Here comes Green running. Up ahead to Nelson. Nelson with the flush.
We'll see what kind of rhythm Nelson can get into now. Getting to the free throw line, getting a break like that. I would look for him to be aggressive coming in the last 7 minutes going to the half.
Luke Ward counters for 3. GCU retakes the lead. We're in an immediate timeout window. Next dead ball, we will get a break as Nelson draws the foul. This has been a back and forth seesaw game. Dominic Nelson, the MVP of the league, up ahead of everybody. And then on the other side, Luke Ward shooting from distance. It's a 1-point Grand Canyon lead.
Dominic Nelson has been tremendous this year. The WAC Player of the Year, averaging 15 points a game, 45% from the field. He's really done it all. He's struggled a bit so far in this tournament, but the reality is the last few possessions, he's had a little spark, got to the line, made a dunk, I really think for them to win this game, he's going to have to put on an MVP-type performance, and we're starting to see that from him.
Leads the WAC in free throws attempted, has already attempted 2 tonight, making both, but 222 free throw attempts. Wow. Nelson makes the first. Second one on the way. No good. Tied at 26. Moore hit a 3 a moment ago. Now he's got 2 in a row.
Wow, that had such value. Stretches the defense. They are deep. They have talent, you know, really 1 through 8 that can score the basketball. Huge spark before hitting those threes.
Welling going against Roar. Spins inside. Tough shot by Carter Welling.
Same thing. Force it too.
They're not going to give War any space from deep, so he puts it on the floor. Duke Brennan with the hustle play. They got a fresh 20, which is now down to 10 as Moore tries to reverse it. Goes off the top, out of bounds, and will go to Utah Valley.
You just get the feeling that neither team is going to blink. This is going to be a battle from start to finish. Like I mentioned earlier, I really think both teams expect to win this game. So even if they get down, they understand they have the tools, the motivation, the talent to be able to get back into it.
Lenhart puts it on the floor. Osiris Grady. Bumped, no call. Welling with a rebound. A lot of contact everywhere. Ball comes out to Toolson. Grady in the corner. And out of bounds.
Pretty good possession by Utah Valley. When the ball is moving like that from side to side, it really puts Grand Canyon on their heels. When Grand Canyon can be the more physical team, put them back on their heels, it's really who's more aggressive on that side of the floor.
Been a high-energy first half with a 1-point Grand Canyon lead for the WAC championship. No one got Harrison, and he dunks it.
He is the X factor so far. Utah Valley is not able to keep him in front. His dribble penetration is a little too much right now.
Harrison turning back the clock. 2 years ago, he was the MVP of this tournament. He went up high for that rebound. Makai Williams with the turnover. He traveled.
Harrison again getting downhill. The ball screen is making the defense shift one way or another, and his quickness, his first step is the difference right now.
Nelson inside, but Welling couldn't handle the pass.
Toolson set such a good screen. A physical, legal, aggressive screen. Really a missed opportunity for Utah Valley.
The pacing of this game so far, Coach, favoring either team?
I don't think so. You know, I feel like Utah Valley wants to increase, to really get up and down, try and create some easy baskets.
Harrison missed. He knew he was going to miss and got the wide open putback. No good. They got a foul underneath, away from the ball.
He does it every time.
And they call it on Duke Brennan.
An unfortunate situation. Both teams being physical. Brennan just a little bit too physical right there. Takes away 2 off the board.
2 fouls on Brennan. It's unfortunate because Harrison was the only one in the world that knew he missed it and where he missed it.
It was going to be the easiest basket he scored in his entire career. But instead, potential for 2 points on this end.
Carter Welling goes to the free throw line. He's got 6. It's his first free throw attempt. It's good.
Every game is a game of runs, and this has been a game of runs, but a lot of small runs. There's been nothing that's really broke open the game, and I think for both teams, you can handle a 6-2 or an 8-4 run, but you can't get any 10-0 runs. That's the kind of run that could really determine the game.
Good hustle by Welling. And a foul on Caleb Shaw, trying to D-up Dominic Nelson. You mentioned runs, Coach. It seemed like this game started with UVU winning the hustle plays. In the last couple of minutes, it seems like Grand Canyon has out-hustled them.
Yeah, and it's the Grand Canyon. It's also the physicality. And this is a big, strong team, and they're really imposing their will inside the paint. And on this end, Nelson, I really like what he's doing. There's a reason he has so many free throw attempts. He has a knack for getting there. He understands how to draw fouls, and that's what he's doing.
First one's good. Nelson doesn't just go a lot, he makes a lot. He shoots 71% from the line. And of course, I say that, he misses the second. Grant Foster back in. Grant Foster only has 2 points. See if they look for him. A nice lead for Brennan, who lays it in around Welling.
Brennan's just all reliable, shoots such a good field goal percentage, shoots the right shots, rolls hard, does a lot of the dirty work for this team that pays off for a lot of wins.
Nelson cutting, reverses to the other side. Hayden Welling tried to get it. Out of bounds, it'll stay with UVU.
What a great cut, what a great cut.
Brennan is a good big man to have inside, Coach.
Well, he is. He doesn't mind doing the little things. He goes after the boards, he sets the hard screens, rolls hard to the basket, and shoots a tremendous percentage.
Oh, we have you covered on Selection Sunday once again. It all starts at 6 Eastern, 3 Pacific with SportsCenter on ESPN. Reese and the college basketball crew look at the men's field of 68 as the brackets are announced, followed by bracketology with breakdowns of each region. And then at 8, it's the women's field of 68 revealed with bracketology and a complete breakdown at 9 Eastern. Speaking of breakdowns, Coach, Ray Harrison's pretty good at breaking down the defense.
Well said. He has a low center of gravity, which leads to a really quick, explosive first step. He gains the advantage, and once he gains the advantage, he relies on his instincts, and his instincts have been off the charts, scoring 8 points and doing a great job getting to the inside of this defense.
2 years ago, the WAC tournament MVP. He did not make the all-WAC tournament this year. And some insiders into the GCU program will tell you, Coach, that put a little chip on his shoulder.
Yeah, chip on shoulder can mean really strong performances, and we're seeing that right now.
Linhart off the screen. Hayden Welling is the older brother of Carter Welling. He's number 8. Nelson is free and knocks it down.
Nelson seems to be in rhythm right now, and that's something he hasn't had yet in this tournament. That's a great sign for Utah Valley.
They wave Harrison off to try to get Grant Foster off the screen. And he tries to go to the hoop, fouled by Carter Welling as he went up with the left.
Well, Grand Canyon got a little bit lucky right there. Brennan set a physical screen, but he probably got out of his area. That's what created the space, ended up being a layup. But it all started with if you're Grand Canyon, you'd call it a good aggressive screen. If you're Utah Valley, maybe an illegal screen.
Foster only with 2 points right now. He's averaging 15.
With Coles on the bench for Grand Canyon, it also puts everybody in a little bit different role. So much of what they do offensively goes through him. So when he's on the bench the last 8-9 minutes of this half, Harrison's really taken that burden on his shoulders, which is great, but puts everybody in a little bit different positions. It takes a little bit of getting used to.
Second one good by Grant Foster. Now Welling against War. Welling gets all kinds of bodies in the air, misses it, the tip no good, and here comes Harrison. Grant Foster with a height advantage over Toulson, goes right over him, no good.
Both teams attacking inside, and once you get inside, you are meeting bodies. And there's great length, there's great activity, and it's going to be hard to score around the basket.
There's a foul on Grant Foster, his first. Every time that happens, you're going to see the Wolverines at the free throw line. This time it'll be Welling. One of 3 from the free throw line now is Welling. Harrison off the dribble with the runner. Harrison has 10.
I think Grand Canyon's going to continue to lean on him, especially with Coles out of the game. He's doing such a good job controlling the basketball. He's not turning it over. He's being aggressive and getting high-quality shots.
Toulson, tough contested shot. Luke War wrestles it away. Coach, you brought up a good point. Grand Canyon's doing this without their leading scorer in this tournament, Jacoby Wells, who's sitting on the bench with 3 fouls as Makai Williams reverses it, and it is now 38-32. Grand Canyon, under 2 minutes to go.
Well, one of the things Utah Valley can't do is give away points at the free throw line. They've already missed 4 free throws. They need to be able to make the easy ones.
Here comes War. Luke War goes high off the glass, and he is fouled by Welling. And Luke War will go to the free throw line.
Come on, baby.
And this is a bad little 2-minute scenario for Utah Valley, who hasn't scored in 2 minutes.
This game is going to be hard fought, and there will be nothing easy around the basket. You know, the coaches talk about we have to win the battle 10 feet in. That's one way of saying the box outs better be good, and nobody's going to score on offense unless there is a challenge, contested shot every time. Utah Valley's throwing waves of players in, new guys all the time. They're going to have fresh bodies, and I think as this game goes on, it's going to get more and more physical.
Luke War has 7 points, 2 threes, and 1 free throw. Seven-point lead. And a Wolverine team that has only made 1 of their last 7 shots and hasn't scored in over 2 minutes and 20 seconds. Grand Canyon's really stepped up the defensive pressure. Green on the floor, lost it. Out of bounds, ball goes to Grand Canyon.
You're exactly right, and with that pressure, it's the physicality, and it makes it so Utah Valley is not able to move freely, to move the ball freely, and that's what they rely on. They're a team that shares the basketball, that makes each other better, and when they try and only do things one-on-one, it's going to be harder. And so you're right, the Grand Canyon pressure is making a big difference in the game.
Look at Grand Canyon defensively. You were saying both teams actually better defensively than they are offensively.
Yeah, statistically, you know, they're both really, really efficient on both ends of the floor, but the defensive end, both teams really thrive. And you've heard many, many times, defense wins championships, and so who can be the team on the defensive end that gets things done today?
Grant Foster dunked it, but it came out. It was in and then out. Potter double team. Wells, no good. Ball comes out to Grant Foster. 30 seconds left.
Utah Valley may have just given up our opportunity for a 2-for-1 situation. They may get the ball back, but it's probably not going to be with a lot of time left. They could have cut it under 7. Chances are it's going to be 7 or more going into halftime.
3-second differential between the shot clock and the game clock as Harrison pulls back for 3. No good. The tip by Moore. Good. Did they wave it off? No hoop, but a foul on the floor. So they called a foul on the first tip here, Coach.
Yeah, bodies flying.
Right call. Greg Nixon, referee, right on top of that as Moore misses the free throw.
Utah Valley's had a couple calls like that. And it's just going to be, look, the reality is this is going to be a physical game, and the officials are going to be on it, there's no question, but playing through contact is going to be very important for both teams in the second half.
One of 2. 5 seconds left. Nelson will have to heave it up. And he draws a foul. Tie on Grant Foster with a mistake.
And Utah Valley ends up getting that 2-for-1. I said that might elude them. Getting the free throw line. It's really a good way for them to end the half. Potentially getting it down to 6. I think they'd actually feel pretty good about it because after the first 6 or 8 minutes, the momentum was really gone towards Grand Canyon. You know, one thing to look at, I keep talking about the physicality of the game in the second half. Playing through contact is going to be important. And this Grand Canyon team is a big, strong, physical team, you know, just naturally. They're big, strong bodies. And we'll see if that impacts the game in the second half.
3 minutes and 40 seconds. That is the last time of game clock since Utah Valley scored. It's 1 point, but this free throw would go a long way. He makes it. 33-40. 1.7 left. Moore will heave it. No good. And that will conclude the first half. Pretty impressive, Coach, by Grand Canyon to do all of that without Jacoby Coles.
Well, and, you know, they started the game down, and they were able to build throughout the half. And like you said, without one of the best players on the court, they're able to just grind and fight and find a way.
40-33, Grand Canyon on top. The halftime report coming up next, right after the break. You are watching Champ Week, presented by Principal. This is the WAC Men's Basketball Tournament. And we're at halftime, 40-33, the number 2 seed Grand Canyon leading the number 1 seed Utah Valley. Hi everybody, Dave Feldman along with the coach Jared Haas. Welcome to WAC Vegas, and things have been a little bit wacky. So far, what has stood out to you in the first half?
Grand Canyon's strength. And on the offensive end, it's led to 20 points in the paint. And on the defensive end, it's kept Utah Valley out of rhythm. It's just been really hard to get the player and ball movement that they want to have. So the overall strength of Grand Canyon has been a difference maker so far.
Ray Harrison has been a strength. He's always good, but this tournament, Coach, he's always great.
Unbelievable. He's done such a good job. He's been probing on the offensive end. And what he's doing is changing direction, changing his speed, shooting mid-range, getting all the way to the paint. And then if he can get the defense to lean a little bit, he can go his direct line drive straight down the paint for the finish.
And then on the other side, Dominic Nelson trying to keep UVU in it.
Well, and he needs to have an MVP performance in this second half. He can get to the mid-range there. He can score in transition. He's done a nice job getting to the free throw line. But this second half, he must step up.
Ray Harrison had 10, Dominic Nelson had 9. And one of the big stories was Jacoby Coles, who barely played after picking up his 3rd foul. He had 3 points. He took 1 shot. He made it. But we'll see if Jacoby Coles is a factor after sitting the majority of the first half with 3 fouls. He is back in the game and right in front of us. He's a large man.
And a lot of credit to the rest of the team. They all stepped up. They found a way to really go on a run when he was out.
Coles averaging 22 points in the first 2 games. First shot of the second half is off.
And Bryce Drew, right out of halftime, wanted to get him going. They had multiple screens to get a shot for him. He chose the screen that got him a 3-point shot. Shot didn't go in, but makes a lot of sense to try and get him a shot early.
UVU started this game on a torrid pace with a lot of hustle. As Toulson shoots the 3, no good.
And that was a set play coming out of halftime. An elevator screen for Toulson to come off. 2 good shots for both teams, just didn't go in.
Coles inside, spinning it off the glass. And is that by design, Coach, going to him?
No question. That is absolutely by design. Both shots getting him in the flow early in the second half.
Moore ties up Grady, and a jump ball. Possession arrow goes to Utah Valley.
Coles came out, missed his first 3. They go right back to him. Goes inside, uses strength inside. And this is the physicality of Grand Canyon right there. They're just big, strong athletes. Creates the tie-up.
Colin Moore, good defensive player. Carter Welling for 3 over Coles, hits it. And UVU really needed that. It's their first field goal made in over 4 minutes of play.
And we've documented it's been a little bit of a struggle scoring inside, so step out. If you can make the 3s, it negates that interior presence by Grand Canyon.
And with all of the troubles recently by UVU, it's just a 6-point game. Coles has taken all 3 shots in the second half. He's made 1 of them. Welling, you had to respect that 3. Now Nelson with 12 on the clock. Blocked from behind by Coles. And a foul on Utah Valley.
And I really like the fact that Utah Valley is not settling for 3s. They're trying to get downhill. They're trying to get to the paint. Now it might be worth coming to a 2-foot stop, kicking it out, maybe shooting a few more 3s, but not early in the possession. I like the mindset that they might be able to get some 3s after the ball's moved and gotten to the inside.
Second foul on Osiris Grady. Grant Foster lays it in. And the thing about him, Coach, he's so long. One big step and he's at the rack.
I mean, what a great first step. There's nothing fancy about that. It's an explosive first step straight to the rim. Couple steps, lays it in. High-level play.
8-point lead. Here come the Lopes, 2-on-1. Coles with the finish.
Heck of a pass by Grant Foster, running out in transition. His last 2 plays, simple plays, effective plays.
A 10-point lead. And you feel like this is a crucial part of the game for Utah Valley.
It really is.
Toulson has been a go man for Utah Valley, and he comes through again in the clutch.
And that's the run stopper right there. We talked about you can't let huge runs go or occur in this game. And that was a big, big bucket right there. Now they need to couple it with a stop on this end.
Toulson has 8. Grant Foster, double team. Good ball movement. Coles lays it in.
What Grand Canyon is doing is they're finding a guy and going with them. Coles, the first 3 shots of the half you mentioned. Grant Foster has really been a focal point. His pass out is what got Coles the basket that time.
And a foul inside on Moore. But the offense for Grand Canyon this half looks fluid.
You know, it's physical. It's everything's going to the rim where they're having success. And the athletes right now are shining through. And there's just nothing that Utah Valley can do right now.
Toulson off the screen. Tough 3 by Tanner Toulson.
I think Utah Valley's going to need to keep finding him. get him as many shots as possible. He's feeling it not only tonight, this entire tournament. And right now on the defensive end, Utah Valley's going to need to put more than one person guarding the basketball. If there's anything at the rim, they're going to have to send a second defender.
Toulson has 11, 3 of 4 as Makai Williams spots up and counters immediately for Grand Canyon.
And the comfort level for Grand Canyon is really, really high right now. And Utah Valley has to think of something maybe to disrupt them, doubling, pressing, something, but there's too much comfort right now for Grand Canyon.
Welling, interior pass. Holcomb threw it out of bounds. Was it tipped? No, it wasn't. UVU ball. An excellent start for Grand Canyon in the second half. Makai Williams, a spark off the bench for GCU. Hey, a reminder, we'll cap off Champ Week tomorrow with 2 more championship games on ESPN. The SEC title game, 1 Eastern. Tennessee taking on Florida. And then one of the final automatic tourney tickets will be punched by the winner of the American Championship game between UAB and Memphis. Well, the potential bids by conference, the SEC coach with 13. The Big 10 with 9, the Big 12 with 8. I mean, look at the ACC 3 and the SEC 13. Talk about a flip-flop.
It is amazing. It's the good and the bad right now in the SEC, but I would throw the Big 10 and Big 12. Man, there's some good basketball. Good, tough, physical, high-quality teams. And as you mentioned, the ACC with 18 teams to only get potentially 3 in would be really disappointing. And I'd look for them in the future to really build it back up. It's not an easy thing to do, but it needs to be a priority.
Grant Foster to Brennan. Ball was knocked out of bounds, stays with Grand Canyon. We mentioned Grand Canyon, 3-time winner in a row is what they're going for. They've won back-to-back WAC tourney titles. They've won 3 of the last 4 years. Last year, won their first Division I NCAA tournament game. They beat St. Mary's in the first round as Makai Williams draws the foul.
Grand Canyon is really an example of wonderful commitment by the administration. And when you look at the student section, you look at the overall fan base here, it's obvious the commitment, the excitement around the program. Bryce Drew's done a tremendous job. They've done a nice job recruiting. But really, as an entire program, they've done a bang-up job.
And a home game there is really a spectacle to see. They camp out. It's like a mini Krzyzewskiville. Those fans right there, the Havocs, because they wreak havoc. They travel. And a home game is really a good environment for Bryce Drew and a huge advantage.
And you're exactly right. It is an advantage. When you can create energy, it helps the home teams win. We've seen that all across the country for many, many years.
Out of bounds, ball will stay with the Wolverines. We mentioned what a hot streak UVU came in. Coach, they came into this game 10 straight wins and 20 of their last 21. Their last loss was at Grand Canyon on February 1st. Since then, all wins.
And in talking to the staff, they talked about that a number of times of how important that game was and what they learned from it, and it was really a defining moment for them.
Toole, great catch and finish. And Tanner Toulson continues to inspire. He has 13. He's made 5 of 9.
Yeah, I was about to mention this out-of-bounds play. You just feel like you want to stay in touch right now. They called a set back door to Toulson. Really a well-designed play, and the players executed very well.
And what a defensive play by Toulson that just forced that. Grand Canyon wanted a foul, but it looked like good defense.
Yeah, I thought he slid his feet pretty well, took the contact in his chest, and created a turnover.
By design, trying to get Toulson the ball again. The left-hand finish. Toulson has 15 back-to-back hoops.
By design, smart design. He's feeling it. They need to keep going back to him. Any special plays, any wrinkles, now is the time to use those.
Grant Foster, no good. Here comes Linhart. Wells inside. UVU cuts it to 5.
What a big couple of possessions. The set back door to Toulson, a layup for Toulson, and now another layup by Wells. Really a big minute and a half right there for Utah Valley.
Timeout by Grand Canyon. And UVU coach, just when we said it was a critical moment, they don't give up. In fact, they go inside. Wells, a spark off the bench. It's a 5-point game. GCU and UT Arlington played in the women's WAC championship today. And UT Arlington was up in the early going. Got the lead up to 10 in the third quarter behind Coilov's 21 points. So things were good for them until GCU stormed back. Laura Erickstrom scored 17 and Trinity San Antonio 19. And the GCU ladies punched their ticket to their first ever NCAA tournament. So Grand Canyon trying to go for the men-women double dip. The women a 30-game win streak, longest current in D1 and longest in WAC history. And they're here supporting on the men in a tough game here. Their last loss November 18th at number 23 Oregon. So a great win for the GCU ladies.
They're looking to sweep it if they can. Both teams in great positions.
Jacoby Coles, no good.
Both teams are shooting lights out in the second half. Grand Canyon's at 60% and 75% for Utah Valley in this second half.
Welling thought about it. There's 5 on the clock, so Linhart's got to do something. Ball goes out of bounds. There's 2 seconds left on the shot clock for UVU.
And this is a simple deal. They're going to have an out-of-bounds play that they know they need to get the shot quickly. They don't have to do it urgently. They're going to have time for 1 dribble, maybe 2 dribbles, but they understand it's going to have to happen fast.
Instead of beautiful lob play, but Welling couldn't get it. Great call. Well, they called a foul on Corey Wells, and that was very fortunate because Grand Canyon was out of sorts. Ethan Potter comes back in, and Carter Welling goes out.
Utah Valley for the second half has cracked the code on the offensive end, but on this end, they're going to have to find a way to string together some stops.
Jacoby Coles fouled on the floor. That was before the shot. And the foul is on Tanner Toulson. 14th foul and Toulson's first personal. Let's see if Harrison does something. He's been quiet for a bit. Luke Ward. I tell you, Luke Ward has a nice looking release.
I tell you what, it looks really good. It's a pretty good situation. I was going to call him an X factor, but I already called Harrison an X factor. So when you have multiple X factors and your quote unquote stars are also pretty good, it bodes well.
Tanner Toulson off the mark. Potter with a good offensive rebound through the foul. And Ethan Potter will go to the free throw line and shoot 2.
War shots, they're effective, but they're in rhythm. Really nice job popping out, squaring up. He's doing a nice job keeping it simple, being really, really effective.
Jacoby Coles picks up his 4th foul. And Duke Brennan's going to come in for him at the whistle. So Coles goes out. He's got 9 points. He's made 4 of his 7 shots. but now he's going to sit for a bit. And once again, Coach, you think this game is getting out of hand, and then you look up and you go, well, it's only a 6-point deficit.
Well, you know, it's a cliche, but everybody talks about their culture. And this Utah Valley team has a culture of winning. You've talked about it, we've talked about it. And you don't have those kind of wins if you give in. And they have a culture of winning, and we're seeing that right now.
Holcomb fouled, and a good fast break by UVU. And Holcomb will go to the free throw line and shoot 2. UVU not going away. 55-49. Grand Canyon at the WAC championship. 55-49 Grand Canyon, but Tanner Toulson had 16 versus Utah Tech, 18 versus Seattle, and he's hot again tonight, Coach.
He is carrying the offensive load in the second half. They're going to need, you know, probably a little bit more from others on the team, but until that happens, he's making threes, he's going back door and cutting without the basketball. He's driving left, finishing at the rim, playing with a high level of confidence. They can continue to go to him in the second half, but at the end of the day, they will need some of the other players to step up.
Certainly has earned a spot on the all-WAC tourney, but it's not what he's interested in. He's trying to get UVU into their first ever NCAA tournament Division I game. They've never even been to the championship game before. When they won the other night in the semis, it took them into uncharted waters. And now, with their 10-game winning streak on the line, a rubber match with GCU, a formidable foe, with or without Jacoby Coles in foul trouble. And if they are going to win, Coach, they're going to need to make some free throws.
This kind of a game, you just can't let those charity shots go to waste. And they've done it in the first half. They're starting to do it in the second half.
8 of 14 for UVU. The lead is 5. War lost his hand and footing and drew a foul.
Kind of a fortunate call right there. War was a little bit out of control. Feet got tangled. They're having multiple guys run at him. The Grand Canyon feel pretty good about that one.
Yeah, I think so too. They called the foul on Ethan Potter. Kai Williams defended well by Green. Brennan with the board, and he got fouled, and Duke Brennan will go to the free throw line and shoot 2.
I know the possession didn't end the way they wanted, but the way Green was guarding right there, the ball pressure, that makes a difference. And if he can continue that, it really puts the entire offensive possession for Grand Canyon in a different mode and puts them on their heels just a bit. But Green's on-ball pressure right there is really good.
Free throw is good as we remind you our next ABC NBA Sunday Showcase doubleheader. Donovan Mitchell and the Eastern Conference leading Cavs have won 15 straight as they host Paolo Banchero and the Magic at 1 Eastern. And then KD and Devin Booker and the Suns are in LA taking on the Lakers. Coverage tip with NBA Countdown, 12:30 Eastern. Once again, you just get the sense that at the 11-minute mark here, as UVU draws a foul and a 7-point deficit, this is sort of critical mass time for UVU to stay with Grand Canyon, who is prone to making big runs.
And on the defensive end, they're going to need to swarm the basketball anytime it gets to the paint and live with it if the ball comes out and it's swung around and Grand Canyon makes a shot. And on the offensive end, player movement and ball movement, that's when Utah Valley is their best. When they can share the basketball, they can cut freely, they are really, really tough. But when it gets into a physical, grind-out, one-on-one game, they're going to play into Grand Canyon's hands.
Carter Welling back in. Potter takes a seat.
Okay, changing it up a little bit now. 1-2-2 press. I like this. Change the rhythm.
Williams over the timeline. Grant Foster, beautiful mid-air adjustment.
Grand Canyon liked it too. Really nice job attacking and not settling.
The lead back to 7. Foul on Williams, who accidentally got it. And then Williams just slapped him away. So Carter Welling was saying, I got you, no big deal. And Williams took it the wrong way and shoved his hand away. He's like, no big deal, buddy. He's like, get your hand off.
There is so much at stake at this game. Emotions are going to run high. Both teams are experienced. Both teams are really good. Whoever can really capitalize it, use the emotion to their advantage, but not go overboard and get out of control.
Toulson spinning inside. Tanner Toulson again. He's got 17.
He's loving the moment, absolutely loving the moment. He wants the ball in his hands. He's making play after play after play on the offensive end.
He's already averaged 17 points a game in the 3 tournament games, and he's not done. That average will go up.
When they break the press, instead of setting up, they attack and get a dead layup, which is the exact correct way to attack the press. And then Toulson just going downhill, taking it on his own, really making a lot of big-time plays.
Colin Moore shooting 1-on-1 for the Lopes. Knocks it in, and the Lopes have made the most of their free throws, 13 of 16.
If Grand Canyon, this last 10 minutes, really tries to attack inside by either posting up or just strong drives, I think Utah Valley is going to have to make an adjustment and leave the shooters and throw some people to stop dribble penetration, because right now their only defense is fouling and put them on the line, and Grand Canyon is making their free throws.
The lead is 7. The time is the 10-minute mark in the second half. Toulson, Carter, Toulson again. Nice pass, Holcomb finishes well and gets the assist.
A lot of players doing a lot of great things. But Toulson right there getting the offensive rebound, keeping it alive, moving the basketball. This is a gritty, tough team.
Harrison for 3.
I think that's going to be the recipe right there. See if you can get Grand Canyon to jack up a bunch of threes. If they make them, it's going to be tough. But it's going to be hard to defend just 10 feet and in, because Grand Canyon is so big and strong.
Welling against Brennan. Welling gives him about 6 pump fakes and gets it off the glass.
Great patience. Looked to pass it out. No passes were there. The cuts didn't happen. Nice finish.
Timeout Grand Canyon as UVU has cut the lead to 3. We will take a quick break as well. The Wolverines not going anywhere, thanks to the good footwork of the big man. A reminder, we'll cap off Champ Week tomorrow with 2 more championship games on ESPN. The SEC title game is at 1 Eastern, Tennessee taking on Florida, and then one of the final automatic tourney tickets will be punched by the winner of the American Championship game between UAB and Memphis. Number 1 seeds, according to Joe Lunardi, Auburn, Duke, Houston, and Florida. You know, Auburn a loser today in the semifinal. Tennessee, Alabama, Michigan State, and St. John's, your 2 seeds, according to Joey Brackets. Speaking of brackets, what a bracket here at the WAC championship. 61-58, Utah Valley not going away. And the question I have for you now, Coach Haas, what do you do with Jacoby Coles, who has 4 fouls? When do you bring him back?
It's a great question. I think you wait just a bit longer. You know, if Utah Valley takes the lead, I think you probably bring him in at that point. If you can milk it and maybe build your lead a little bit, get him down to about the 5-minute mark, that'd be ideal.
Harrison hooked by Wells. Harrison off the dribble with that low center of gravity, so hard to defend.
I think we're going to see this over and over and over right now. Grand Canyon's going to put their heads down, they're going to drive, and they're going to get to the free throw line unless Utah Valley finds a way to send more bodies at him.
4 fouls on Corey Wells, who takes a seat. Dominic Nelson back in. Harrison in double digits with 11. Loves the big stage.
The free throw line's been a difference in this game. 16 of 19 for Grand Canyon right now. They are taking advantage of those charity shots.
Only 11 of 17 for UVU. Ball on the floor, tied up. That is a jump ball, and the possession arrow goes to Grand Canyon. Here comes Makai Williams. Launches a long 3, and it's good. You think maybe that's a shot that UVU wanted them to take until he made it.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, it's going to be really hard if they make some threes down the stretch right now. We're in a little bit of the danger zone for Utah Valley. They've done great every time they get in this danger zone. We'll see how they respond now.
Welling inside, no good. Got it back, and a foul inside as Welling got the offensive rebound. Well, one of the things UVU is hoping is that maybe Grand Canyon shoots a lot of threes and they don't go in. But Makai Williams says if they do go in, you got some issues. Back to Vegas. ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Principal. Let's build a retirement and benefits plan that works for your team. 66-58, the number 2 seed Grand Canyon leading the number 1 seed Utah Valley. Dave Feldman with the coach Jared Haas. 7:52 left. Coach, we've said about 8 times it's critical mass for UVU, and every time they've responded.
Every single time. That's exactly right. And history says it'll happen again, and they get to the free throw line. But on the defensive end right now, they're going to have to find some stops. They're going to have to find a way to keep Grand Canyon out of the paint. But if they make threes, it makes it really tough to guard.
Keep in mind, along with Jacoby Coles' 4 fouls, Tyon Grant Foster now has 4. So a couple foul scenarios to keep an eye on in the final 8 minutes of this game with a 6-point spread. Great job of Holcomb keeping Williams in front of him. Boy, Ray Harrison is so tough and doesn't even mind the contact.
Well, not only not mind it, this is a Grand Canyon team that wants the contact. When they drive, it's not to go around you, it's to go through you. And they're having a lot of success doing that.
Steal by War, stolen back. And a jump ball. And they say a timeout was called by Grand Canyon. One ref called the jump, the other called the timeout. Todd Phillips is saying they didn't have the ball. Jared, what happened?
It's a scrum. Bodies flying everywhere, and that's the question. Was there a tie-up before the timeout? I would argue yes. The refs are sorting it out. I tell you what, his body's flying everywhere, and you can absolutely tell the energy in the arena, the energy from the players, the energy from the coaches. Everyone knows what's on the line tonight.
This would be their final timeout if it's ruled a timeout, which I think it is. So they're saying Grand Canyon had possession, called a timeout, and that will be their final timeout. As we look back to Harrison here with the, as you said, Coach, looking for the contact.
You know, the rules have changed some, so there's a really advantage to the offense when you drive, when there's contact. And Grand Canyon's doing a great job. Honestly, they're doing a great job recruiting to get big, strong perimeter players that can drive the basketball. But you have to be so early, so steady on the defensive end to ever get a charge that you're really rewarded with big, strong players that drive, that absorb contact, that want contact. And a lot of coaches, a lot of teams, a lot of players around college basketball, that's what they do. They drive to get contact and then gather and finish at the rim.
How crucial will it be having no timeouts left for Grand Canyon in the final 7:09?
Well,
time will tell if that lead dwindles down.
That's exactly right. If they can keep their lead or grow the lead, obviously it won't be too much of an issue. But we've mentioned it. We continue to mention this Utah Valley team. They have a response each and every time.
Jacoby Cole still on the bench with 4 fouls. And so too is Tyon Grant Foster.
And in that regard, with them on the bench and to be able to grow the lead a little bit, really puts Grand Canyon in a good spot.
So we'll see what happens here with 2 of Grand Canyon's best players sitting on the bench. Makai Williams. War gets some space. Luke War knocks it in. And are they going to take that hoop away?
Yeah, they grabbed the net. Basket interference.
By Grand Canyon?
I believe so. I couldn't see what hand it was.
Couldn't either.
Yeah, so that should be a basket. Should be goaltending. Basket should absolutely count.
So they're going to look at that in the break and make a ruling on it. But right now they did not count that hoop.
Yeah, and that'll change here. So we're looking at a 10-point game right now. Toolson to the free throw line again. A late game like this, 6-7 minutes left, to be able to stop the clock and score without the clock running is really important. If Utah Valley can continue to attack and get to the line, that's a big advantage.
Toolson misses the free throw.
So last possession and this possession, because of the inability to guard the basketball, Utah Valley has gone zone. They're trying to see if throwing bodies at the ball handler or make Grand Canyon stagnant will change things.
War for 3. No good. Toolson and Brennan battling. And Grand Canyon keeps it.
So a little bit predictable. It forces Grand Canyon to shoot the three. They miss it. Those are all good things. The zone is a little bit weaker without assigning box outs. Ends up being a team offensive rebound, and Grand Canyon keeps it. And they give it back.
And then they turn it over.
I think Utah Valley is going to stick with this zone and see if they can ride it for a couple minutes and get some stops back to back.
Grand Canyon's been pretty good with the basketball, only 6 turnovers. And Linhart was fouled.
Getting to the free throw line, stop clock. But that only works when you make your free throws.
Linhart, an assist guy, not a score guy. He's got 170 assists in 32 games. He's 4 shy of breaking the all-time single-season mark set by Trey Woodbury, which he will certainly do if the Wolverines play a postseason game, which they plan on doing, either NCAA or NIT. Two-possession game.
All right, back in their zone again. It's not their favorite defense, but it can be effective. I really like the change. They had to find a way to stop the ball getting to the paint.
Still no Cole, still no Foster. Moore from the corner. Brennan up high. Holcomb wrestles it away.
What a great strategic move to go to this zone. Multiple stops in a row right now, daring them to shoot the threes.
Carter Welling. Stolen. Here comes Makai Williams. Harrison smartly pulls it out. Harrison to Brennan. Brennan lost it. Moore takes it back out. The clock favoring GCU. Now Moore stepped out of bounds.
You know, those last 2 penetrations by Grand Canyon, the difference is they're seeing 2 or even 3 Utah Valley defenders because they're in this zone. It's not one-on-one, it's 1-on-5. And it's really sticking right now. Now, Grand Canyon's going to have a little bit of a, idea. Hey, we're not able to score against this zone. Do they get a little bit tight? Do they settle for threes?
Well, to that end, Coles and Grant Foster back in, both with 4 fouls. That's Wellings loses a 3, no good. And Grant Foster immediately makes his impact with a rebound.
Utah Valley's has their opportunities on the offensive end, haven't been able to get it done.
Grant Foster absorbing all kinds of contact.
The game plan is pretty darn simple for Grand Canyon. Put your head down, get to the rim, finish through contact, and they can do it.
Welling no good. Ball is knocked out of bounds. Goes to Grand Canyon. And we will take a break. Grant Foster comes back in the game and immediately makes an impact. Who initiated the contact? Doesn't matter. It's 2 points for Grand Canyon. We are back, and Grand Canyon just got 2 more points without even scoring on that possession. And what happened was they reviewed the play where the net was grabbed, and it was Tanner Toulson that grabbed the net on the Luke War shot. They had called offensive basket interference. Instead, it was on Toulson. The hoop counts, and now it's 72-62.
There's been a lot of great timeouts in college basketball today, but that one's probably the best, where you can get 2 points added by not doing anything. So the right call, there's no question about it. The refs looked over, admitted that there was a mistake, and it got corrected, and that's the ideal situation.
Unless you're from Orem, Utah, and you play for Utah Valley. Even though it's the right call, it's now a 10-point deficit. The Lopes are full strength again with Jacoby Coles and Tyon Grant Foster back in, along with Harrison, Moore, and Brennan. UVU countering with Lenhart and Toulson. Carter Welling,
At
the brother
6:45,
Hayden
we
Welling,
called an offensive
and Dominic
basket
Nelson.
interference. That call was incorrect. We've reversed the call. Grand Canyon is awarded 2 points.
And now the Grand Canyon fans finding out what happened. That indeed they got 2 points while the ref sorted it out. Grant Foster just was careless with the ball, lost it.
Yeah, and the press at its appropriate time. Nice job getting a deflection, getting a turnover.
Nelson just had nowhere to go.
This again, when you're Utah Valley, sometimes it's not about the X's and O's, and you just have to find a way. And that's what they've been doing. They continue to try and do. And they're playing their hearts out, but it's just not rolling in the basket right now. They're going back man to man.
Coles lets the defender fly by, takes it inside and draws the foul, and Jacoby Coles will go to the free throw. Doesn't do anything quickly, but does everything effectively.
He uses angles so well. You know, if anybody gets out of position at all, he just uses those angles, gets fouled. Really a smart, heady player, and with the body he has, tough to guard.
See how Grand Canyon loves to go to the free throw line. Lead the conference, free throws made, free throws defended, free throws attempted. Can't really defend a free throw. Although some of those home gyms do put up the craziest things. 5 guys in double figures for the Lopes now. Welling on the baseline, dunks it home, and Carter Welling with a big 2.
There's no quit in him. No quit at all.
Beautiful shovel pass, and Brennan finishes. Harrison with a great dime.
Mr. Reliable, dives hard, easy bucket when they need it.
A 12-point lead, under 2.5 to go. Nelson gets it after the block, and he is fouled inside.
Great straight line drive, finishing with authority. High flying. Utah Valley's doing enough, I feel, on the offensive end, but on the defensive end, they're just not stacking together stops. And when you're trying to cut a lead, that makes it awfully tough. When you talked about the free throws, you're exactly right, but it's not just by chance. It's not just because they're athletic or they are driving downhill. The whole purpose of their offense is to get to the paint, and teams are either going to have to foul you or they're going to let you make your layups.
15 of 23 from the free throw line. Corey Wells is just fouled out.
The last 2 minutes and 20 seconds right now. Not that you need more reasons, but one reason, another reason it gets hard for Utah Valley is just the quality and depth of the ball handling on Grand Canyon. You know, they have multiple guys who can handle the ball and pass the basketball. They're comfortable with really everybody out there if the ball's in their hands to make the right decision.
Harrison misses the free throw. He's got 14 points. His first free throw is missed. He's now 2 for 3. Toulson defended well by Coles. Now Toulson left alone. And Tanner Toulson again.
Toulson tried to take advantage of the mismatch, having a big. Coles really did a nice job sliding his feet, but once the ball was kicked out and moved back, the extra effort didn't happen. Toulson knocking in the 3.
Toulson has 20 now, 8 of 15 from the field, 4 of 6 from 3. You think about the tournament Tanner Toulson has had. 16 in the first round versus Utah Tech, 18 in the second round versus Seattle, and 20 tonight. He has really been a crucial key player in this tournament for them.
Well, he does so many different things. We've seen him put it on the ground and lay it up. Yesterday we were watching, and just big time finishes in transition. Great athlete, making threes, going to the free throw line. And that last play right there, tried to drive, wasn't there, kicked the ball out, and it comes back to moving without the basketball. Created some space, got outside the three-point line. The ball ends up finding him again. But really a smart, heady player, not just skilled, but smart, knows how to move without the basketball.
Toulson also a high with 8 rebounds, his season high tonight. All right, what's the strategy here? You're not fouling, right?
No,
you're just playing tough defense.
But you can play as aggressive as you want and really dare Grand Canyon to shoot early in the possession, as long as it's not a layup. Might be able to get another trap. I think it's a little bit early to foul. Now with 15 seconds. Now I like the trap in the middle of the possession.
Now 8 on the clock. Coles with the left hand, no good. Brennan with the rebound and put back. Duke Brennan with a big hoop.
Brennan is such a key part to this team. All the dirty work, the offensive rebounds, easy baskets.
No hoop, they call it on the floor before Toulson got there.
Utah Valley gets the stop. Unfortunately, the clock burned so many seconds, and then they give up the offensive rebound, send 2 guys to block Cole's shot. That offensive rebound putback that's a dagger.
Toulson with 21.
At this point, I would say it's time to really think about fouling. Press, you want to get a trap or 2. What you don't want to do is foul under 15 seconds. If you're going to foul, make sure it's done in the first 10 seconds. But if it gets to 15, let the rest of the clock run out. I expect 1 or 2 traps, try and get a steal.
Well, they almost had one there.
They
did. And they do. Good call, Coach Haas.
And that's the value of not fouling immediately. If you can try and get a steal, try and get a good trap, and then foul. That's the best case scenario for Utah Valley.
Nelson way off. Coles with a rebound. And Coles is fouled. Utah Valley is running out of time. And you talked about it, Coach, the big bodies of Grand Canyon. It takes a toll on them, right? Trying to defend that for 2 halves of basketball.
Yeah, and for 2 reasons. One, they're the big bodies, but just the offensive game plan of Grand Canyon. They've really executed it well. There's a good plan, there's a solid plan, and it's really hard to guard. And seeing these players in person, they look like just about any high major team that's out there.
11-point lead, a minute 2 left. Toulson again. The three is good by Tanner Toulson. He's got 25.
Really good play. It's a play they work on. Toulson slips the screen straight into a flare screen. They get the defense on ice skates. The defense doesn't know if they're supposed to switch. They're just a second late. You get it to the hot player. Good coaching, good playing, heck of a shot.
So you're down by 8. Grand Canyon has the ball. You go for the steal right away. If you don't get the steal right away, then you foul immediately.
Yeah, you know, ideally in the first 10 seconds, ideally in the first 6 or 7 seconds, get a good trap in the corner, be really aggressive, shooting the gaps with your other players. You know, maybe one rim protector so there's no layup on the other end. If they make it out, you're probably going to foul at that point. Probably a situation it's not more than 5 or 6 seconds before you foul.
Toulson tying his season high with 25 points and tying his career high with made threes. He's got 5.
He's a fun player to watch.
He is.
Obviously he's skilled, but he has a passion for the game. He plays extremely hard.
We had a dead ball foul. Who'd they call it on? Okay, they called it on Trevin Lenhart. Well, they accomplished the quick foul, Coach.
Yeah, they did, but Grand Canyon was in a little bit of a bind. They were getting about 4 seconds on the count. They might have been able to get a turnover there.
Grant Foster is 3 for 4 from the free throw line. Now 3 for 5.
We've been praising Grand Canyon the whole game for making free throws, and they've started to miss a few now.
Okay, a 9-point game, 55 seconds. Lenhart lays it in. It's a 7-point game.
Same play they just got the 3 on. He keeps it, gets the layup, get a trap, try and get the steal.
Oh, that was a tough pass. And they got bailed out by, I think, Holcomb committed the foul, because that pass could have gone a million different ways.
I mean, if you're Grand Canyon, you have to avoid the looping pass. You know, if you eat the basketball, but you can't have a live ball turnover. That is what we call putting the ball in jeopardy, and they got bailed out.
Harrison will go to the free throw line. He's got 14 points. He's 2 of 4 from the free throw line tonight. The lead back to 8. Might be the longest 47.8 seconds of Bryce Drew's life. Utah Valley's got to go quickly. Welling for 3. No good. Brennan with the rebound. And Utah Valley's got a foul right away. Instead, Harrison's above. And Harrison lays it in. And that should probably seal it for Grand Canyon. Toulson again for 3. And then a foul on Colin Moore after the 3 went in. A career high 28 for Toulson, and then a foul on Colin Moore after with the push. So that's a terrible scenario for Grand Canyon.
This should be a proud, hey, look, this is a tough hill to climb right now for Utah Valley, but this should be a proud team, a proud coaching staff. The fight that they have had tonight has really been remarkable. I mean, kudos to their program. It's been impressive.
It was a 5-point play to bring it to 6.
You never know.
Now Now a foul will send Brennan to the free throw line.
Personal foul.
Brennan's team already winners tonight.
No rebound.
For the first time, rooting on their men nervously. With 24 seconds left. Brennan, the good news if you're Grand Canyon, 4 for 4 from the free throw line today. And still perfect.
If Grand Canyon finishes this is a team that nobody's going to want to play in the NCAA tournament.
Well, last year they took down St. Mary's in the first round for their first ever Division I NCAA tournament win. 20 seconds left. Linhart, he's got a 3. No quit in Utah Valley. Another timeout. The spread is 5, but there's 15 seconds left.
They've done a nice job, obviously, making the shots, but how they got the shots. They're setting a lot of flare screens, misdirection kind of things. Little pump fake.
Utah Valley 9 of 18 from 3.
This may be a situation that you don't want an intentional foul, but if you can foul before the ball's even inbounded, it might be worth it. Now, on the flip side, if you can get a trap and a turnover, but every second is so crucial right now. With 15 seconds, needing 5 points to get it overtime.
No timeouts for either team. Both teams in the double bonus. Not impossible.
Not impossible.
Not impossible.
Utah Valley has 2 options. One is when the ball is inbounded, just foul immediately. Hope Grand Canyon misses their free throws. Option number 2 is go get an aggressive double team. In a normal trap, you're going to have a goaltender. You're going to have somebody back protecting against a layup. And in this situation, we just tell everybody, come aggressively, come get the steal, score it, get back in the same defense, because after the score, the clock will stop. Try and do the exact same thing. Look, even this year in college basketball, we've seen situations like this where it's been done. Not likely, but certainly possible.
There are no bad free throw shooters on the floor right now for Grand Canyon. Got a foul right away. Instead, Grant Foster's ahead of everybody, and finally Welling grabs him. There's 10.5 left.
And the problem, it was only 5 seconds, but only 5 seconds when it's a third of the time you have left is just too much. And so they needed to foul a little bit sooner. You know, this situation is a made basket, maybe having a deep ball, so you're not wasting time drilling it up, maybe throwing it 3/4 court.
Grant Foster 4 of 6 from the free throw line. And last year's tournament MVP ices a huge free throw. Makai Williams in, Brennan out. The lead is 7 with 10.5. Toulson again, a rare miss. Ball on the floor. Up ahead, Jacoby Coles. Grand Canyon, for the 3rd straight year, are the WAC champions.
That was a game worthy of being called a championship game.
What a performance by Utah Valley, a career high 28 by Tanner Toulson, and they never quit.
Unbelievable. I mean, I really mean it. That should be both teams, both universities should be very, very proud.
Grand Canyon, 6 players in double figures. Their 3rd straight WAC championship. They've won 4 of the last 5. 12-1 in the WAC tournament under Bryce Drew. The numbers are staggering. And they hold off a very tough #1 seed, Utah Valley. The final score, 89-82. Grand Canyon is going to the NCAA tournament. For Jared Haas and our entire ESPN crew, I'm Dave Feldman. The best in the WAC, again, is Grand Canyon. 89-82 the final. So long and good night from Las Vegas.